Hello, Mishpacha, it's Courtney, America's Jewish mother, and I'm here on the first day of Hanukkah to tell you about the story of Hanukkah, to show you my first night of lighting the Hanukkah candles last night, and to open my first present from Lindsay in our very exciting holiday book exchange. So first I want to explain about the time in Hanukkah. So Jews actually measure time from sunset of one day to sundown the next day. And so last night was the first night of Hanukkah, but today is actually the first day of Hanukkah. And the reason that we do that is because in Genesis, in the story of creation, it says every day after God created, whatever things were created on that day, it always says, and it was evening and it was morning the first day, and it was evening and it was morning the second day, etc., etc. So that's why we measure from sundown of one day to nightfall of the sundown of the next day. So the Hanukkah story. The story of Hanukkah really begins during the reign of Alexander the Great, who was Greek. And although Alexander conquered Syria, Egypt, what is known today in that whole area before the creation of the state of Israel as Palestine, he allowed lands under his control to continue observing their own religious traditions, and to retain a certain degree of autonomy. So under this relatively benevolent rule, a lot of the native cultures assimilated to Hellenistic Greek culture while still maintaining their religious traditions. So over a century later, after Alexander the Great conquered the land that is modern-day Israel, Antiochus IV, who lived from 216 BCE to 164 BCE, began to severely oppress the Jewish people. He prohibited the practice of Judaism. He massacred anyone who openly performed Jewish rituals. And he desecrated the temple in Jerusalem by requiring pigs, which everyone knows are a non-kosher animal, to be sacrificed on the altar. Many Jews had to renounce Judaism or practice their religion in secret because they feared for their lives. And finally, a man named Matisyahu, who was a Hasmonean, and his son Judah the Maccabee led the Jewish people in a revolt against Antiochus IV. And the revolution succeeded, and the temple in Jerusalem was rededicated in commemoration of this victory. But here's where the story of Hanukkah comes in. According to tradition, at the time of the temple's rededication, there was very little oil remaining with which to light the menorah. And our ancestors needed oil to light this because that's how you lit things in those days. And that was the menorah was a candelabrum in the temple that was supposed to burn throughout the night every night. And there was only enough oil for it to burn for one day, but miraculously it lasted 8 days in time to prepare a new fresh batch of oil. So Hanukkah basically commemorates this miracle. It remembers the lighting of the menorah. So on the first night, which you will see in the clip I will insert here in a minute, we light one candle, and then we increase the number each night until the last night, in which we light 8 candles. And by increasing the number of lights each night, we also symbolically are increasing the holiness that our light brings into the world. So that is a brief overview of Hanukkah. And here I will insert a clip of me lighting the menorah last night and singing the blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem b'hazman hazeh. And because it's the first night, we also say an additional blessing, thanking God for enabling us to reach this season. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lahazman hazeh.
Okay, welcome back. Time for presents. So I have my box here from Lindsay. I've already gone ahead and cut it open. But I will show you what is in it. So Lindsay very nicely sent me some treats for Charlene. So these are rabbit and sweet potato bites. That was very thoughtful. And she also sent Charlene, this looks like an antler. I'm sure Char will love this because Char loves numbing things. So I'm sure she'll enjoy that. Ooh, what else do we have? Ooh, chocolate. So this is a bar of chocolate. It is 70% dark chocolate that is orange flavored, so that's exciting. There's a card for me and Char. Ooh, and there are also organic chocolate truffles. So yes, thank you, Lindsay. All right, time to pick out which book I'm going to open. This says, there's a note on all of these. So this says, based on what I know about this poet, I'm sure this collection is bound to be dark, tortured, and full of illusions. Enjoy. All right, well, I am excited about that. So let's open it up and see what we have. Oh, it's Ariel by Sylvia Plath. I just recently, or not that long ago, I added this to my Goodreads TBR after Lukash's recommendation, strong recommendation of it. Lukash from A Cruel Reader's Thesis. So yes, I am very excited to have this, and I feel like a little bit of a negligent Americanist saying this, but I've actually never read Sylvia Plath, so this is very exciting. So yay, poetry! I'm super excited about this. So yes, thank you, Lindsay. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you again tomorrow. And until next time, would it kill you to call your mother?